we can go ahead and transition to the Western Conference Final. That's my question mark with them going into that series. Because I mean, we said it going into the playoffs. I got OKC coming out of the West to start with, and based on how their respective series went, I still
Mhm,
have OKC because I thought
mhm.
OKC didn't get the benefit of Denver losing key pieces. They had to play Denver straight up and down. And they were able to get it done. Now, obviously, Minnesota did the same thing last year. So I mean, it is what it is. Both of these teams now have experience of beating a tough and contending Denver team. But I think this year, when I look at OKC and their ball pressure on defense, and I look at how they won that game, their game seven. That's how they did it. They did it with
Mhm.
consistent ball pressure on the ball handler for whoever had it on Denver's team. Denver couldn't handle it. Murray had problems. Joker had problems. Everybody had problems handling that type of pressure. Now, obviously, Minnesota's more athletic than Denver, so they should be able to match up. But it's the fact that when OKC gets deeper into their lineup, they can still have the same thing, arise. They can still have, multitude of defenders on the floor at one time that can get after it. And that's how they create their offense, through their defense. And with that being the case, I do feel strongly that OKC will just be too much. I think now do I like Minnesota and their one-on-one play in terms of Ant Edwards and Julius Randle if they got to get into their ISO situations. I do like them better than I like most of the OKC guys. But I think overall from a team basketball perspective, OKC to me is going to be a little bit too much for Minnesota to handle.
I think you hit the nail on that. I think as a complete team, OKC is just a better team. OKC is just more established than Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at the way they play Game Seven, it's like all five guys plus their supporting cast were just a cohesive group. Like they blew them out. And like I said, that is a Denver team who is way experienced, and they have like the best player in the world, arguably, and who can make anything out of anything to be a 7 footer.
He got
And it's like,
facts.
yeah, and you can do that against that team. You know the energy that they have, and just imagine like that one-on-one play from Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. That's only going to carry you so much. It's only going to carry you so much. Harstein is a big man who can run the floor. So the chick can run the floor as well. Shay's going to be Shay. Jalen Williams going to do his thing. And Dor, you know what I'm saying? He's a defensive presence as well. Then you got, Alex Caruso coming out from the second unit, doing his thing with that, running the floor, so on and so forth. I think it's one of those situations where you do have two youthful teams, you have two youthful stars, and the story is going to be Shea versus and you know what I'm saying that's what the people want. They want something like that, but it's just more of OKC is just a more established team. They're a more well coached team is that you know what I'm saying, and they're gonna run. Shea's gonna get his, and everybody else is gonna get theirs as well. But I feel like they have to play with that mentality. Like you can't break that. You feel what I'm saying? Like you can't break the mold and Shay just wants to go off and get like 40 and nobody else is contributing, or Shay just wants to be the guy. But he's never been that guy. He's never been the person who is the guy. He'll get his players involved, teammates involved, and then they win games. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be a star-studded battle between those two. But me personally, if I want to, I think OKC wins in me six. OKC in six.
I got six too. I got OKC in six. Again, it's gonna be a fun series, and I'm glad that for the sake of the game, we're getting to get two young stars battling it out. Like you spoke on it a couple weeks ago, and you had spoke about Ant and Shay and Ant really wanting that matchup. I'm like, okay, well you're gonna get what you're asking for, and not only are you gonna get what you're asking for, this is gonna be to decide who goes to the NBA Finals to then cement their legacy. This is legacy defining. This is what we asked for. This is what we all want as NBA fans. We want that next generation of guys to start to write their own stories. And I mean, we saw it last year with Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum. They obviously etched their name in stone last year as they won their first NBA Finals as a duo. Somebody new is gonna get a shot at etching their name in history, and that's the part that has me the most excited for either of these conference final matchups. But going back